Morning all, how are we? Morning TikTok, morning Facebook, morning YouTube. Hope you're well. It is Monday, the 18th of August. It's a brand new week, brand new weight loss week. Yes, we are here. We're getting at it. I'm getting the vlogging camera. That's just buzzed at me. Where is that? Beeps at me. Oh, turn my microphone off for some reason. Yeah, getting the vlogging camera ready. Why? Off to Sainsbury's. We're off to Sainsbury's after here. We're going to do my first ever weight loss vlog shop thing in Sainsbury's. Yeah, I've not got loads of bits yet. I'm just going to go for a mooch round, really. I don't think I'm going to be buying loads there. Just going to have a mooch round and not a supermarket I go to much. So I'm going to do Sainsbury's. I'm going to try and do Sainsbury's this week. I'm going to try and do maybe Morrison's next week. Try and get a couple of vlogs in for you. Yeah, there we go. So we're straight off after here. Let me get the chat box up on Facebook and TikTok. Anyway, it is a new weight loss week. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a great weekend this weekend. Really enjoyed the weather. We went out Saturday night for a couple of drinks with some friends and a bit of food. It was really good. Stuck to my plan. Did not get too drunk at all. Tipsy is how I would describe it. I was tipsy Saturday night. I can handle tipsy. Still had a bit of a calorific day yesterday, but in all honesty, I was all right with that. I was kind of planning on having it. I have my check-in on Monday. I have hit my goal. I wanted to be 18 stone by the end of this year. It's kind of like, I've said this quite a bit this year. I've not really set myself a target or a goal. Last year, I set myself a target of being 18 stone by the end of the year. I didn't hit it. So this year I was kind of like, I might as well try and do the same thing. I've hit it. I'm there. I'm all good. I'm on it. So I've hit it with this check-in. So yeah, weight loss for me, it's not on the back burner, but it is for the next 2 weeks. I'm having a couple of weeks off from weight loss. I'm at my target for the year. Now, I have got a holiday a week on Friday, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I am going to up my calories a little bit over the next couple of weeks. And I'm only upping my calories through protein. I'm not upping my calories as in, oh yeah, I'm going to give myself loads more food freedom or anything like that. I'm not. I'm still going to be in a calorie deficit, but not as big a calorie deficit. But I'm going to train really hard over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to increase my calories by 500 a day just through protein. Yeah, we're calories from what I normally eat. Now, I'm not changing my calories in my app. So they're going to show that I'm keeping my calories at 2,600 because when I get back from Benidorm, I'm going to go back into like a 4-week weight. I'm only having a couple of weeks, sort of easing off a little bit. But like I say, it's not like, I've got 2 weeks of weight loss, isn't it? No, I'm keeping everything the same. Still going to keep my eating roughly the same. I'm just going to add, I'm going to have a 250 calorie protein shake now. Right, and I never eat breakfast on a Monday. And then I'm going to have a 250 calorie protein shake mid-afternoon, right, and get another 60. So I'm really going to wrap my protein up over the next couple of weeks and just see what happens. I'm still going to check in a week on Friday and just see what that does to my weight. So I'm not actually increasing my food volume, really. I'm not going to increase my whole food kind of volume. I'm just going to have a couple of protein shakes in. Anyway, there we go. So anyway, I had a bit of food freedom this weekend. I don't know what I've got over my calorie deficit. I'm going to do it in my weekly weight loss vlog. I think I'm about 1,000, maybe 1,500 over. Can't remember. I didn't have a look last night. I was tracking yesterday. I've tracked, and do you know what? I've tracked Saturday bang on. I literally tracked Saturday bang on. Me and mates were like, right, let's go through what we had yesterday. And we did. We went through, and it's drinks more than anything. Food wise, we had when we came in from going out. I don't know if you've had the garlic bread. Aldi have got some garlic bread crisps. They've got like an Italian theme going on at the moment. The garlic bread crisps. Oh my god, they're actually quite sickly. They're not something you can eat loads of unless you've been out and had a few scoops, which I had. So we ate a bag of those, a 150 gram bag. We ate the bag, right? That's 750 calories. So 375 calories of crisps when I came in. That's gone in my app. And then we ate a packet of Hobnobs. I probably had 5 or 6, 500 calories. So I ate about 1,000 calories when I came in on Saturday night. And then we had chicken fajitas. I had chicken fajitas for my tea. and a few nachos to share. That's gone in my app. And then and my drinks, and I counted my drinks, and I've tracked them absolutely spot on. I think I've tracked them absolutely spot on. So Saturday, anyway, I'm going to go through it all. Weekly weight loss vlog. That'll be at about 5 p.m. today, and I'll go through it all with you then. But yeah, I think I've been I think I've had about 9,500 calories this weekend, and about 5,000 on Saturday night, about 4,000 yesterday. So I'm not saying I was controlled in terms of like I've had the lowest calories, but everything stuck to where I wanted it to stick to. Does that kind of make sense? Anyway, but I've had a great weekend. We had a really good night on Saturday. It was like one of the best nights I've had for a long, long time. And I'll always say this: you've still got to live your life while losing weight. It's all about finding balance. Now, if I did what I did Saturday, week in, week out, and although I've only gone a little bit over, to be honest with you, I burn a lot of calories at the moment, and I've got a very good calorie control Monday to Friday, miles better than I've had for a long time, right? So that always banks me, a good few calories into the weekend. So, could I do what I did this weekend and have a successful weight loss journey? I probably could, but I am a bit of an exception to the rule with the amount of calories I burn and my calorie control. If you're not there yet, then you probably can't. One knock-on effect is I'm tired. I don't feel like 100%, like I normally do on a Monday. And that's just the effects of having like I said, I didn't even get drunk on Saturday night, tipsy, right? But I can feel it this morning. I'm like, I'm not as I normally am. And then I'm like, oh, is that going to make it a bit harder to control calories today? Is it going to make me train a bit rubbish in the gym? It's not, because I'm determined to get at it, because I've got the focus of going away next week. But, it's knock-on effects. And if I did it week in, week out, and I felt tired and lethargic every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that would affect me long term. I'll discuss it more. Let's vlog. Let's do top 5 this morning. Who's in? Callum's in at number 1. Kelly C's in at number 2. Lou's in at number 3. Faye's in at number 4. And Lise is in at number 5. You're my top 5 this morning. Thank you very much for jumping straight to the live. Coming and saying hello. Debs, good morning. KF, good morning. Karen H, good morning. Sheila, good morning. Mama Bear's in as well. I'm Dodsy. I'm Vicky. Morning, 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 morning. Anna's in. Morning, all. Tony, good morning. I'm struggling. Yeah, by the way, guys, this is a weight loss live. If you've got any questions, get them in. I'll try my very best to answer. What do you want? What are you after? You've just had a chew, haven't you? You just had a nice meaty chew. Blossom's just asked them. I've got Wilma back. Hey, Wilma. Are you okay? Do you want to come and say hello? Do you want to come up and see me? Come on. No? You coming up? Come up. I know you got to jump. Oh, not again. Let me get Wilma up. We've got Wilma back, haven't we? This will make Blossom very jealous. Say hello, Wilmas. Yes, hello. Hello. We've got you back till the week on Wednesday. Your mum and dad have gone to Cyprus. We've had you more than your mum and dad have in the last few weeks, haven't we? Eh? But you're a good girl, aren't you? You're the reason why we got Blossom, because we dog sat you. All right, you're going down. All right, fine. Hey, Bloss, do you want to come say hello now? Should we do doggy after doggy? Come on, you come say hello. Oh, and then we got Bloss. We've got Bloss, haven't we? You come and say hello as well. You have to come and say hello because you're jealous because Wilma's come to say hello, haven't you? So we got you because of Wilma, didn't we? So we've got 2 cockapoos. The Lars has been miserable in the house somewhere, like she always is. So the 2 cockapoos are all good, aren't they? Are you going down now? Yeah, right, you've had enough. Lovely. Very good. That's it. Dog's done. I'm struggling to eat a lot. Will my body hold on to fat because it's not getting a lot? No. So, no. And again, we've got to look logically with something like this. Let's think of scenarios where people don't eat a lot. Countries with famine. Are there people struggling to lose weight in Ethiopia when they're having a drought because they haven't got enough food? No, it doesn't happen like that. Now, if you don't have much excess body fat, right, and you don't give your body enough calories, your body can go into what I call safe mode. It just shuts itself down. Not shuts itself down, but your body can get what's called metabolic adaptation, and where basically the body slows down its metabolism. Right? The body slows down its metabolism to try and meet the energy that you're putting in. So if you burn 1,500 calories a day and you give your body 800 calories a day, right? So that's a 700 calorie deficit. Your body will then tap into your fat stores to get those 700 calories. You haven't got any fat stores. So when the body goes to tap into your fat stores to get those 700 calories and it hasn't got any, it's like, well, what do I do? Like, this person needs 800 calories. This person needs 1,500. It's only giving the body 800. We've got no fat stores. So what it then does is it slows your metabolism down to, say, 1,000 calories a day. It's still going to tap into some energy stores. If you've not got any, it will, like, unless you've got 0% body fat, you've always got some body fat that the body will use, but it doesn't want to use loads. All right. You need body fat to be healthy, right? You need to have a percentage of fat in your body sat under your skin, a little bit in your midsection, right? To be healthy. Yeah. Yeah, so your metabolism is 1,200 calories a day or whatever, and you burn 300 through movement, and it'll slow it down by 200 to 300. Will that then make fat loss slower? Yeah. Does it stop it? No, nothing stops us losing body fat. Nothing. The big question is, why are you struggling to eat a lot? Right? That is always the question, because that sounds like disordered eating, and that's something that needs addressing. You know, that's always the big question. Yeah. Let me scan down and see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Maureen's in. Good morning. Good morning, Maureen. Hope you're feeling much better. I hope you're healing up okay. Anna, good morning. Have I said hello to you, Anna? I might not have done. I think I have. I think I've covered everyone. Let's have a little look over. Ad on YouTube. Good morning. Gemma fell off the wagon completely yesterday. You can't fall off the wagon for one day. We've got to stop using negative terminology like that when it's one day. Can't fall off anything for one day. You could have eaten 10,000 calories yesterday. You've not fallen off anything. All right. We only, and again, I might use the terminology sometimes, you fall off the wagon, right? You're falling off the wagon, like with weight loss journey, is when we've not done something for weeks at a time. We're always going to get higher calorie days. I got heat exhaustion, soak stroke, and ate around 1,000 calories all day. It was right. The day before, I got heat exhaustion, so like heat stroke. I was like, you had a stroke? I was like, bloody hell, Jim, you all right? Right, yeah. So you've been in the sun too much. And ate around 1,000 calories all day. I was very unwell yesterday. I was in and out of sleep all day and ended up eating rubbish. I know a day will not undo everything, but will still feel crappy. Yeah, but it's just, at the end of the day, you've been, think about what you've just said there. I ate 1,000 calories one day. So even if you ate 5,000 calories yesterday, you've averaged 3,000 calories per day, right? And even if you've not moved very much, you're on the sofa, I don't, depending on what you weigh and stuff like that, you still burn a certain amount of calories. So even if you've had 1,500 calories yesterday more than you, or on average over the weekend more than you've burned, were you in a calorie deficit during the week? It's all about averages, yeah? Chat box just popped up on YT. Morning, Kevin. Oh, does it not come up straight away, the old chat box on YouTube? I have no idea, actually. I don't do YouTube lives in terms of I follow a few creators on YouTube. I never tune into their lives. So I don't actually know exactly how it works, if that makes sense with YouTube and lives and stuff like that. Steph saying good morning. Maybe that's why people don't say hello straight away on YouTube, because they're not able to. I have no idea. Let me know. And in takeaway on Saturday, I log the takeaway, of course. Calories aren't the same, however. I don't do it every week like I used to. And I do not feel guilty. One takeaway will not reverse you back to the very... Absolutely not. Especially if you have had a great weight loss week previous and back. Yeah, absolutely. Everything's done weekly. Even though I had over 5,000 calories Saturday, I had over 4,000 calories yesterday, and I ended up about 1,500 calories, I think, over my eye. No, it wasn't actually. I think it was about 950, 1,000. I don't know. I've got it all logged out. Like I say, I'll talk it through in my weekly weight log. I burn 24,000 calories a week. I think I ate about 19,500 last week. I'm still in a 4,500 calorie deficit. I put myself into a bigger deficit than most people because I move a lot. And you can do. The more you move, I still eat, even though if I'm on a week where I'm within my ideal deficit, I still eat 18,000 calories a week. It's between 17 and 18,000 calories a week, Some people don't eat, and that puts me in a 5,000-6,000 calorie deficit. Some people don't even burn 17,000, 18,000 calories a week, you know? Again, calorie allowances are always relative to the individual. Morning, mate, on holiday. So, definitely not eating like normal. Absolutely not. Ice cream every day sounds sensational. BMO sounds sensational again. But it's 2 weeks and I'll sort the damage done in the other 50 without thinking about 100%. And again, it's not damage, you know. And I know we use these terminologies and sometimes we use them colloquially and just like without any actual meaning. But, you know, and you say that, don't you, after a holiday? Let's get on the scales and see what damage I've done. You've actually done no damage because going on holiday and enjoying yourself guilt-free actually prolongs the journey. This is what we think. A lot of things that we see maybe as damage, right, actually promotes the sustainability of a plan. Things that I used to see as damage. When I used to lose weight, if I had a takeaway, right, or I gave in and had a high calorie day like Gemma did the other day, and Gemma's reasonings for a high calorie day is slightly different to just going, oh, sorry, I'm just going to eat what I want for a day. I used to see that as doing damage. I used to see that as failure. Right? I used to see that as a step backwards. Now what I understand is by allowing myself takeaways every now and then, by allowing myself some food freedom every now and then, a weekend of high calories, that actually is the reason why I've been doing this journey for 11 years. That isn't damage, right? It prolongs the journey. It's actually a good thing, right? So things that I used to see as a bad thing on my weight loss journey, I now see as a very positive thing. Because previous weight loss journeys, I'd over restrict myself. I wouldn't have a night out for weeks and weeks and weeks and like months on end. And then I would go for a night out, but because I thought I was doing something wrong, the guilt of going for that one night out would then escalate into overeating the next day, the day after, the day after. Oh, I've blown it. Then I get on the scales on a Monday morning. I've lost 10 pounds in the last 6 weeks and I've just gained 11 pounds in one weekend because I didn't understand how the scales worked. And then it's just like, what's the point in doing this? If it takes me 3 months to lose something that I can gain back in 2 days, and it's like, no, if I got on the scales this morning, I'm telling you now, I'd be 6-7 pounds heavier than I would be Friday if I got on the scales this morning. And a lot of people that don't understand how the scales work, that don't understand the difference between weight gain and fat gain, would be absolutely like distraught this morning getting on those scales. Why am I not distraught this morning from getting on the scales? Because I've not gone on him, right? Not gone near him, right? Now, I have been weighing myself weekly recently because that's what a lot of my clients have been, not a lot of my clients, sorry, 7 of my clients have been doing. We're doing a bit of a trial of doing weekly weigh-ins rather than fortnightly, just for see if it improves their accountability if they've been struggling a little bit. And do you know what I mean? And I'm seeing from doing these weekly weigh-ins with these 7 clients, I'm actually undecided whether to offer them at the moment because I'm seeing some positives in some clients. I'm seeing some negatives in other clients. So the things that I always talk about, why we shouldn't weigh weekly or try and leave it, is happening to some clients. Right? Some clients haven't seen an improvement and some clients have. It's very 50-50 at the moment. Now, my clients are doing this until the 12th of September. So we're only just about halfway through that, the trial, as it were. We've got the 25th. No, we haven't. What's this week? 23rd, is it? Got the 23rd, 29th, the 5th, and the 12th. So we're halfway through the weekly weigh. So it's too early to make judgment on it yet. And then at the end of it, I will be asking my clients, what did they think? Did they think it was a benefit to them? Did they think it's been a bit too much pressure on them because they've got used to weighing fortnight? I don't know. I'll make a judgment on that. Yeah, but I've been doing it the same. I've been sort of weighing weekly, but I've not gone near. I'm not interested. I know I'll be heavier. Why will I be heavier this morning than Friday morning? Dehydrated. So I've eaten more food over the weekend, right, than I would do normally. Right, I've eaten more unhealthy food. I've had more salt. I've had more refined carbs. That all stores water. My hydration's been shocking. I've drunk alcohol, which dehydrates you, which causes you to store water anyway. Like, I don't want to go into too much detail, right? It's not too disgusting, but like, I literally go for a wee during the week about once an hour and a half. Right, I need a wee. Right, that's because I've got a good level of hydration. I think I went for a wee 3 or 4 times yesterday. That was it. So I might wee normally 10, 11 times a day. I've never counted it. Yesterday I was like 4 or 5 times, right? That shows how dehydrated I am, right? And I could go. In fact, I sat down yesterday. I don't know why I logged this. I remember I'd made. No, we've been out in the morning. I had a Mackey's breakfast yesterday morning. We went to the range. We went to Aldi. We did a bit of shopping, and this, that, and the other. And I went for a wee in Aldi, right? So I went for a wee in Aldi, and that was probably at about 10:30 yesterday morning, right? So I had one when I got up, one at 10:30, and then we got home. We just got on the couch and chilled, right? And I was watching a bit of footy, playing my Xbox a little bit, and it got to about 3, and I said to Rachel, I'm going to do tea now before United starts. So we had breakfast at like 9:45. We're going to do like an early tea now, and then we're going to have we got a brownie from Lidl actually with ice cream. I said, and then let's have that at like 7:00 and just try and have that kind of as tea as it were. And she was like, yeah, okay. And I went for a wee. Then I was like, I've not had a wee since Aldi this morning. 4.5 hours I went without having a wee. If you're going 4.5 hours in between going for a pee, you are dehydrated. Right? So that means when I'm drinking fluids like this now, my body's soaking it up to stop from being dehydrated. All that adds to the scales, you know. Definitely in a slight surplus last week. Didn't track on Friday, but probably had around 6,000 calories. And I kind of gave myself a bit of freedom Saturday and Sunday too. But tracked both days. So I'm kind of expecting another gain this time. Actually, it was intentional though. But now I have absolutely nothing on until Christmas. So a good few months until on it and pre-track this week. Brilliant, Callum. Callum's been doing the weekly weigh-ins. And he's had 2 bumps on the scales, which in this he's like, I've had 2 gains. Yeah, but you weigh weekly. If you've been weighing fortnight as you normally do, you'd have had 1. Right. And then this time, and then for this check-in, you wouldn't have checked in this time. So you'd have enjoyed your birthday weekend and you've had a week and a half to kind of get any food weight, water retention out of your system. So if you've been on fortnightly check-ins, you might have seen 1 gain, and then you might have even seen a loss or a maintain. And again, you just be like, yeah, it's been a little bit of a busy time, maybe not been quite as consistent, blah, 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 whatever. Whereas because you're seeing weekly, the closer you weigh together, the more fluctuations you see. Yeah. So yeah, you might see another gain, Callum, but you know, you're still in a very good place. Callum's done fantastic. He's lost 4 stone in like 9-10 months. He's had a great journey. And really, when we've been on this journey and we've been as consistent as Callum has, not many people stick to a weight loss journey for 9 or 10 months, right? Callum has, he's done superb. We've got to expect over this time, we're going to get the odd period where things just don't quite, for whatever reason, and it can be taken out of our control. Weighing weekly, can we get 3 gains in a row, even though we've been in a calorie deficit? Of course we can. We've had, you might have week 1, a little bit of stress for whatever reason, eating a bit more salt for whatever reason, a little bit of water weight gain counterbalances your fat loss. In a week, you're only going to lose a pound of body fat. Well, Callum is for the deficit he's in, right? For his movement in the deficit, for his movement calories, he's about a pound a week. Right? So can he counterbalance that? Yeah. Can he then lose another pound? So he's 2 pounds down in fat in 2 weeks, but then gain another bit of water retention? Yeah, because it's been hot, right? And if you're hot and you're not getting as hydrated as you, that can cause a little bit of water retention. And then we've got another bit of certain. Now those 2 things are a little bit out of our control, and those couple of things are like, we don't take him into account. Now, this time it's been Callum's birthday, so he's had a little bit of food freedom over the weekend. Perfectly acceptable. You should be doing. When you understand why you might be getting the gain, it makes it a lot easier to justify in our minds. It's when it's not. That's the tough thing. Yeah. Can I ask just also, how long does it take to get out the mindset of wanting to see bigger instant results? It's really difficult to keep positivity. I weigh daily, so stop doing that to get averages. I'd stop doing that. If you've got what you're saying there is you're chasing numbers on scales. How long does it take to get in a mindset? If you've got a poor mindset with not seeing bigger results and you're chasing numbers, I just wouldn't wait. Like I've just said there, the further we weigh apart, right, the bigger results you're going to see when you get on the scales. Look, this is a pound of body fat, right? 3,500 calorie deficit, you lose one of these. Now, the scales weigh our weight, they don't weigh our fat. So the scales don't just show weight gain, don't just show fat gain, fat loss. They show weight gain, weight loss. That fluctuates all the time. And the shorter the periods we weigh, the more we see those fluctuations. You weigh daily, you're going to see lots of fluctuations. Now, look, weighing daily and adding it all together and dividing it by 7 and taking the averages and then using that as your weight is a perfectly reasonable way of looking at the scales. But not if you're chasing numbers, not if your mindset is broken with the scales. If you lose a pound a week on average, right, and you weigh at the right time, so weigh on a Friday, Saturday, you get a much more accurate result than, say, a Monday. I've already discussed that. Monday, I've got my dehydration for the weekend. I've got more food in my system for the weekend. By Friday, Saturday this week, that'll have gone. That'll have all reset itself because, I'm back to my normal routine for the week. So much more accurate than today, right? If I weighed every fourth Friday, I'd see a loss of 4 or 5 pounds in one hit. Now, don't get me wrong. We might be like, yeah, but that's over 4 to 5. It is, but you're just chasing a number. You just want to see. You're telling me if you weighed every 4 weeks, guys, right, on these lives now, right? Yes, it's every 4 weeks. You're only allowed to stand on a scale every 4 weeks. But every 4 weeks you got on that scale and you saw a 4 to 6 pound drop, you're telling me you wouldn't be buzzing every time you got it. You would, right? So we've got to stop chasing numbers, Weight daily to get average, etc. for fat loss. And weight daily doesn't give you fat loss averages. It gives you weight loss averages because it takes into account fluctuations. And my weight is very gradually coming down, but my head is like, that's not enough. It's not good enough. At the end of the day, what we need to accept is we lose weight way quicker than we gain it. I spoke about this the other day, like just look back at a time, and I did ask this question, and no one took me up on it that could take me up on it. If you were heavier 3 years ago, what did you weigh compared to today? I got everyone coming up going, I'm light. I'm like, yeah, it's because you're following me and you're doing well on your journey, right? Or you've been on plan with me and you're doing well on your journey. I want people that are doing rubbish, and I don't mean that disrespectful. But, I get a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm now the heaviest I've ever been, or this, that, and the other. Do I want you to be lighter? Yeah, sorry, I don't mind you being lighter than you were 3 years ago. I got people that were heavier, did I? I don't know. I can't remember how it worked, but it didn't quite work out what I was expecting. But let's say you weighed 14 stone in COVID and you weigh 16 now. Yeah, so I need you to be heavier now, right? Yeah, and you weighed 16, and you weigh so you've gained 2 stone over 4 years, right? I can have you 2 stone lighter by February, right? So we've just been led down this path. Very big lack of education around things like Slimming World and that, getting big drops of weight at the beginning of our journey, or doing crash diets where we lose lots of weight. I don't know if anyone's watched it. It's a documentary that's just come on Netflix. Brilliant, about The Biggest Loser. I'm actually thinking of doing a podcast on it. So I don't know if anyone's watched it, but there's a lot of falseness, even from these there's personal trainers in there. There's all that. There's a lot of rubbish spoken about weight loss in there. I think it's either the second or the third episode. They're talking about how, their metabolisms are broken. Absolute garbage, right? Even the doctors go, yeah, we're fully aware that these people have broken the metabolisms and this, that, and the other. Don't get me wrong. Crash dieting could cause, and they don't even mention this. What's so crash? So your metabolism doesn't get broken, right? You don't break your metabolism, yeah? You crash diet. I've already said about you can get some metabolic adaptation. You start eating properly again, that'll sort itself out. The only way you can actually permanently cause an issue with your metabolism is if you develop an underactive thyroid, which crash dieting can do. So your thyroid gland is in your neck, and it's what regulates your metabolism, right? And your thyroid gland can, at certain points, increase your metabolism a little bit, and it can slow it down a little bit, right? And it can do that like quite quickly or over quite long periods of time. So when I talked there about metabolic adaptation, if you don't give your body enough fuel and it hasn't got enough fuel to tap into its fat stores, it might slow your metabolism down. So that's a longer period of time. And it's just, I'm just going to turn your metabolism down. And how does it turn your metabolism down? Well, it stops giving energy to like hair growth, skin, all these sort of bits and pieces. So a lot of people that don't eat enough calories, they end up with thinning hair. They end up with lack of energy, lack of motivation. It can affect mood. Causes lots of different hormone imbalances, basically, right? And we can develop a permanent underactive thyroid, right? And a permanent underactive thyroid will downregulate your metabolism permanently. Can you fix it? Not really, right? And I'll be honest with you. You get an underactive thyroid, you've got an underactive thyroid. Can it come back? Yeah, it can, but there's it's very hard to determine whether it does or not. Now, a lot of people that develop an underactive thyroid can get medicated for it, and that medication can then bring the hormone balance back. So that can sort it out, right? Can you get where your thyroid slows your body down metabolic adaptation? Yeah, and then eat again, and it'll speed it back up. Yeah, but if it becomes a permanent condition, generally you've got it. But an underactive thyroid only it downregulates your metabolism by about 10%. It's not that nowhere near as severe as people make it out to be. A lot of people make it out like it's the be all and end all. I've got an underactive thyroid, I can't lose weight. No. If your like my metabolism is 2,500 calories a day, if I developed a permanent underactive thyroid, it would be 2,250 a day. Now, don't get me wrong, dropping my calorie burn by 250 calories a day, 1,750 calories over a week, is a lot of calories. But I currently put myself in about a 6,000 to 7,000 calorie deficit a week. I get an underactive thyroid, I'm going to be in a 5,000 calorie deficit a week. It will make my losses a little bit less, but I will still get consistent losses. Now, if you don't weigh very much, you don't move very much, let's say your metabolism, standard metabolism is 1,800 calories a day, and you only do 7,000 steps a day, no other exercise, right? So your calorie burn's about 2,200 a day. That means that to lose a pound a week, you've got an allowance of 1,700, 1,750 a day, something like that, right? Which is quite low. If we then take into account an underactive thyroid, which is dropping your metabolism by 10%, right? You've then got less than 1,600 calories a day, which is quite restrictive. It really, really is. But if I get someone that comes on board and they only burn 2,200 calories a day and they've got an underactive thyroid, I'll be quite honest with them and say, look, I'm not putting you in a deficit to lose one of these a week because it's not sustainable. I'm going to put you into a deficit to lose half of one of these a week, right? And anyone whose metabolism is 1,800 a day, they've not got that much. They're not that overweight anyway. Might be 13, 14 stone maximum, right? So you're not going to lose one of these a week. You're going to lose half of one of these a week. But let's say you're 13 and a half stone. This time next year, you'll be 11 and a half stone. That's not bad. Like, come on, right? And you're only in a 250 calorie a day deficit. So the restriction's very small, yeah? And you're still going to lose that amount of weight. Now, if that person then goes, no, I want to lose a pound a week, right? Well, here's what you have to do. You can't do 7,000 steps a day. You need to do over 10, right? So you choose, you need to do over 10,000 steps a day. And we might even need to add a little bit of exercise in. And if you're like, well, I don't want to exercise. I don't want to I don't want to go to a gym or anything like that. Right, well, let's try and push for 12,000 steps a day then. You do 12,000 steps a day, you'll increase your calorie burn. So even with your underactive thyroid, we can lose one of these a week and you'll be at goal in 6 months. But that's your trade-off. What do you want? Do you want to have slower results, more sustainable calorie allowance, and be a bit more patient? Or do you want to lose it in 6 months and let's get you moving a bit more? There's got to be a trade-off somewhere, But mindset around losses and what we deem as acceptable losses, sometimes we've just got to convince ourselves. And to be honest with you, if you're losing weight in the right way, you'll get to a point where you're not bothered. You're just happy to see consistent losses, right? Where people chase numbers for bigger losses is they hate the way they're losing weight. It's one of the big factors why we're impatient, right? It's not because we feel like I should be losing more, I should be losing more, I should be losing more. It's about finding that balance. If what you're putting in is worth what you're getting out, that will help with your patience. When people are trying to eat 1,400 calories a day, 1,300 calories a day, even though they're not doing, they're probably eating 2,000-3,000 calories a day on average, right? Very common, very, very common. But when you think you're eating a low amount, even whether you're eating a low amount or not, it's quite detrimental to mental health, right? And, you know, when you're like, I'm eating 1,300 calories a day and I'm only losing half a pound a week. Well, you're not eating 1,300 calories a day. You just think you are. But the fact that you're feeling like you're being so restrictive and not getting the results, like that's why you want it to happen quicker, right? It's being impatient. I mean, if you're literally sat there going, do you know what? In the last 3 months, I've lost a stone in weight, right? 90% of people that have got a weight issue can lose a stone every month, every 3 months, right? I've lost, and this is that you should be evaluating. You should be going, do you know what? In the last 3 months, I've lost a stone. And in the last 3 months, I've enjoyed my kid's birthday, right? I've enjoyed my husband's birthday, and I've enjoyed Chantel's hen do, right? Then it's like, and and on top of that, every single week, I've had some sort of treat meal where it's been a Mackey's with the kids, it's been a Chinese, it's been out for Sunday lunch, right? Everyone should be able to do that, right? And if you can't do that, you're not losing weight, right? Yeah, you're doing it wrong. And, you know, I'm not saying certain people don't have tighter calorie allowances, but your calorie burn is relative to you. And if you only burn so many calories, you could only take in so many. You know, that's what you need. And again, you need to teach yourself that. Now, I did talk about this last week, and I had a couple of messages about it. Through weight loss, we need less calories because we don't burn as many calories. I don't burn on a day-to-day basis. Yes, I move a lot, but when I was 37 stone, you know, I could sneeze and burn 200 calories, right? So it's 37 stone, hardly moving. I burn 5,000 calories a day. Now I burn 3,500 calories a day, and I have to put a hell of a lot of effort in to burn that many calories, right? So I still burn 1,500 calories less, right? So as we lose weight, our calorie burn drops, and you only need the calories that you burn. What doesn't change massively, and this is something we have to teach ourselves, this is the self-control around food that we need to learn. What doesn't change massively is our want, our appetite, right? My appetite, my desire for food, and this can be an emotional thing, this can be just a physical thing, just a hunger thing. My desire for food at 18 stone, it is different to my desire for food at 37 stone, but I burn through it and I could still quite easily polish off more calories than I burn. Like the balance isn't quite there. It is there because I've taught myself the balance. So, but that all depends on what size you've come from and where your weight issue has been. But again, in my mindset, I'm like, I burn 3,500 calories a day. That is all I need. Now, I'm in a calorie deficit. So I'm like, you know, my body never misses out on calories. It never misses out on calories. A calorie deficit does not mean you're restricting your body of calories. It is where your body gets its calories from. So I burn 3,500 calories a day. I get 3,500 calories a day. If I don't put it in there, I get it from here, right? So I get, my body's never deprived of calories, right? Now your body can be deprived of nutrition because you're eating too fewer calories. Your mind can be deprived of foods that you love because you're being too restrictive with your overall diet. But your body never misses out on calories, right? Unless, again, I've talked about metabolic adaptation, eating very few calories when you don't have much excess body fat. But that's a different thing altogether, yeah? He's going for a wee every hour or so normal then over the last, what's Jess saying here? over the last few months, I need to go a hell of a lot more than I used to and figured something was wrong with me. Yeah, you should look, I always say this. How do we know if we're hydrated? You've got to look at your pee, right? Your wee should not be watercoloured. It shouldn't be clear. That's overhydration. It should be a very light straw colour. I mean, not similar to this pack, really, but a little bit lighter than that, maybe, right? So now every now and then there's going to be something that changes. And again, not to be too graphical, how did I know I was dehydrated yesterday? Because my wee was that colour, right? It wasn't this colour. Yeah, it was this colour. I'm dehydrated. So if you're hydrated, yeah, and don't get me wrong, if you're dehydrated and your body's storing excess water because of dehydration, when you get hydrated, you'll pee every 20 minutes, every half an hour. And that can happen, that can last for 24 hours. What a lot of people do then is, oh, God, I'm going to the toilet too much. So they stop drinking. And then you end up dehydrated again. You just end up in a cycle. This week, normally about Wednesday for me, my hydration will kick in when my body goes, Neil's hydrated. All the excess water we've got stored from the weekend, we can get rid of that now. And I'll be peeing a lot. I will literally go for a wee here. And don't get me wrong, I'll drink a 500ml Monster Energy on the way to the gym. But I will get to the gym and I'll be absolutely bursting. There'll be more than 500ml coming out, right? I'll then train for 45 minutes. And when I come downstairs, I'll have to go to the toilet again. Then I'll drive home. I might need to Aldi on the way home. By the time I get home, half an hour again, I'll need a wee again. Right? I'll then might do a bit of content, make dinner, eat that, bang, I need another wee. I will probably wee 20 times on Wednesday. That's just my body flushing out excess water. When I start weeing like that, I then try and drink a bit more to keep the hydration up. Get to Thursday, back to standard weeing every hour and a half. Now, that might kick in soon. That might kick in today. Might kick in tomorrow. It depends on how hydrated I get, And it's when my body goes, yeah, right, let's get peeing. Yeah. Just started following you and love your page. Mandy, thank you very much. Thank you for the positive feedback. Always means a lot. Always means a lot. Right, let me... damage may be a bad choice of words. Guess I meant deficit reduction. No, it's not. I'm not having to go at you, Rich, when you said damage limitation, or people use damage limitation or see what the damage is. I get it. I use it sometimes. It's just, yeah, we need to just kind of. It all depends on where our relationship. I've got a very good relationship with food. I've got a very good relationship with weight loss, so I can use some negative terminology around it, and it doesn't really trigger me too much, But for some people, it does. I meant deficit reduction or wipeout, really, but I'm not concerned. Now is what I meant. Great explanations. Yeah, absolutely. And you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. You've got to enjoy your holidays. And again, it's about knowledge. It is about education. Like, to gain a pound of body fat, you have to eat 3,500 calories more than you burn. Not 3,500 calories more than the deficit. Not 3,500 calories more than I've set you. More than you. I don't know why I'm peeling this pound of body fat. I don't want to peel it. The 50 quid these, So I don't want to ruin it. This isn't a pound of body fat anymore because I've peeled a bit off it, but it was like hanging off. Anyway, this, to gain one of these, 3,500 calories above what you burn. So my calorie allowance to put me in a deficit is 2,600 a day, right? I burn 3,500 a day. So for me to gain one of these, I'd have to eat 7,000 calories in a day. Now, if I go on holiday and I eat 7,000 calories every single day, I'll gain 7 pounds. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If I did that over a week and I gain half a stone on holiday and body fat, I'm all right with it. We've gone in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Right? Just get my head down and get at it. And it'll be gone. And I fully enjoyed my holiday. You can't be scared of weight gain. You shouldn't be scared of weight gain. We are. I get so many people, especially with holidays. We're still in holiday season, aren't we? I get so many people, I'm really worried about my holiday. Imagine saving up, working hard, and your main thoughts of your holiday is about your weight rather than the memories you're going to make with your kids or your partner or your mum and dad or, the food you're going to enjoy, the things you're going to do, the attractions you're going to go and see. And you'll still think about all those things, but in the back of your mind, you're going to Devon or Cornwall and you're going to go for a cream tea. And all the way through, you've got this lovely cream tea, but it's ruined by the guilt of eating it. Oh, what's this doing? How much weight am I gaining while I'm eating this? It's not the way to live our lives. So we've got to change that thing. Now, don't get me wrong, if you go on holiday every other week, right, then yeah, there needs to be some compromises made. But if you go on holiday a couple of times a year, or you might be like, a lot of people, my mate just has he has 2 weeks at Christmas and 2 weeks once a year. Like he has a 2 week all inclusive once a year, middle of the year, like June, July time, 2 weeks off at Christmas. That's his holidays. That's 4 weeks of the year out of 52. So 48 weeks of the year, he's got, no, I don't wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't have all the do's and this, that, and the other, but, I'm not complaining. It's my birthday and I enjoyed it. And in a couple of weeks, I'll likely be back. Of course you will, Colin. You know that. We've been on this long enough now. Right, let me go through TikTok. Good afternoon, boss. Good afternoon, Jess. Hope you're good. Getting ready for those Holly Bobs. I lost 0.5 kilograms on holiday without trying, just because I was so much more active. And do you know what? It is amazing. I always say this. Gaz that's on plan, I don't know if he's on the live this morning. He's just been to Florida for 2 weeks. He's come back weighed in. He's maintained. I'm always sat there going, if I've gone to America for 2 weeks and I've maintained, like, how good a holiday has that been? But that can be the case. A lot of people here are very lazy. Right, we are. Right, we're a lazy nation at times. And a lot of people are a lot more active on holiday. And, you might do 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day average year. And on holiday, you do 12,000 steps a day. The question you should be asking is, if you can do 12,000 steps a day walking around Las Americas, right, or you can do 12,000 steps a day walking around Benidorm or Crete or wherever you've gone on holiday, right, why can't you do that here? You can, right? You can. Let me go. Just put beef ragu in slow cooker to make lasagna later. Sounds amazing. It's a bit colder today, a bit cooler, a bit cloudier. I'm all for it. Ate a lot of salads last week in the heat. The weather does determine our eating. So ate a lot of salads last week. So I'm looking forward to having a few more options this week, Stefan, good morning. Went to Linda on Friday. Prezzo. Went to Linda Friday Prezzo. On Saturday evening, we had a Chinese, all within calories. Just wish my dad would get off if Slimming World, as he still demonizes food. That's the worst thing about Slimming World. It generally is. I say this all the time about Slimming World. The actual Slimming World plan isn't the worst thing in the world. And a few tweaks could make it pretty decent for people to follow. Right? And I mean that sincerely. I'm not taking the pee when I say that. What would I change about Slimming World? I'd have my consultant. If I run Slimming World, the consultants would be a lot more educated around weight loss. Right? They would. And I'd make sure that people understood things like whoosh effects. And I'd make sure, but just, I'm probably going into things a bit deep there. What little tweaks just to Slimming World would I make? Number one, right? And this is patented Slimming World, right? I've written this down and put it in a sealed envelope with a date on it. Stamped. Posted it to myself. I haven't been. But number one, I'd change the word sins. Change them to treats. I say that all the time. We have a treat. Now, loads of people, my dad always says treats are for dogs. No, they're for humans as well, right? I treat my dogs like humans. So they have treats, I have treats. You go to the shops and you buy yourself a nice top. Well, I'm going to treat myself today, right? There's nothing wrong with using the word treats. People always try and create problems for solutions. Don't accept solutions to problems. So we're going to use the word treat. So instead of having 12 sins a day, you've got 12 treats a day, right? I would then give more freedom with treats. I think they're too restrictive. So you could either lower the treat amount. So, instead of a Mars bar being 10 treats, it could be 5 or 6, or give people more treats. I would also then teach them to use their treats over a week rather than a day. So instead of saying to you, right, you've got 15 treats a day. No, you haven't. You've got 105 treats a week. So if you want no treats on Monday, Tuesday, you can take those treats into a weekend. Very similar to me banking calories, right? Straight away, that would give people exactly the same control over food. It would give people the same thing, but just with a little bit more freedom, just a less tight grip. You know, the free food thing, I would get rid of in a way. To be honest with you, the way they do the free foods, yes, you can eat as much pasta and potatoes as you want, but the main issue with Slimming World is a lot of people then see it as a personal mission to try and make something as big as make as much food as possible that's sin free, that involves lots of free foods, and they're just overeating. We always try and push the boundaries with things. How can we push these boundaries to make what should be a controlled way of eating a much less controlled way of eating? If you need to push the boundaries with something, then it's overly restrictive. So there's little tweaks like that which would change mentality towards food, but it would also change like the control a little bit. The things where they sort of allow bread as a healthy A and a bit of this, and then it is just calorie counting, right? And some people like that. So there are some, I'm not saying calorie count the way I do it is the only way to lose weight. It isn't. I think it's one of the best ways. There isn't only one way to play football. There's a reason why we've got a Liverpool, a Man City, and Arsenal, right? I would say Man United, but I'm not going to say that, right? I'll say the top four from last season: Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, right? Liverpool, right? There's a reason we've got them, and then there's a reason why we've got an Accrington Stanley. Who are they exactly, right? They both play football, but one does it a lot better than the other. I'm top tier Premier League. Slimming World is Accrington Stanley, but at some point in time, Accrington Stanley, Wrexham was Slimming World, right? Wrexham are now in the Championship, right? I'm like, they're not, and Slimming World could get into if it improved things a little bit. It'll never be Premier League, never be up to my standards. But there are ways we can do the way. It could be tweaked, yeah. How do you calculate your calorie deficit correctly for fat loss? Molly, come join my community, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Just join the community. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. When you sign up to the community, you'll get an email. In that email is a download. Download it, consultation form, fill it in, send it to me. I'll work out your calories. Right? Guys, remember as well, I've not mentioned. I'm going to mention a couple of bits and pieces. I don't feel like I've mentioned them for ages before I go. Summer deals. They end a week on Wednesday. So I'm a weight loss coach. It is my job. It's how I pay my bills. It's how I afford to sit here and do these free lives, right? And I've got some summer deals at the moment. I've got half price sign up, 15 quid to my one-to-one plan. £15. I'll start your week today. And then it's $29.99 a month for a minimum of 3 months. So I asked for a 3 months commitment from you. So you can pay 1st of September, 1st of October, 1st of November, and then your minimum commitment's done. If you want to work with me for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months, I'll be your coach. I'll be there by your side. You get regular check-ins with me. You get a full plan to follow. You get access to my WhatsApp 24/7. I say 24/7. I'm not going to go into any details, but someone was removed from my community this week for sending me a message that was 2 hours at 3:30 in the morning, and it wasn't the nicest message in the world. Not directed at me, but anyway, I'm not going to go into any more details. But you can message me at 3:30 in the morning, but message me in the right way, please. I will not take any. I do not take disrespect lightly from anybody. All right, whether it's about me or any of my other community members. Anyway, that being said, you do get access to my WhatsApp 24/7, so you can message me whenever you want. Everyone's in the community going, "Ooh, who's that?" No names will be mentioned. Anyway, you will get access to my WhatsApp 24/7 if you need me by your side. 15 quid. That's it. Go get signed up, and we'll get you on board. If you don't want to pay monthly, and you're really committed to this, and you're like, I'm just really struggling, get signed up yearly. It's 260 quid, one-off payment. Normally 325. Excuse me, boss, we're going in a minute. I've got to go at past. I've got a lot to do today. I always say this, but I am going at past. 260 quid, one-off payment, 12 months one-to-one weight loss coaching. Done. Right? You'll be covered till September 2026. Right? Fortnightly check-ins. You got 25 check-ins. Access to me whenever you want. You also get membership into my community. Yeah, all done, all sorted, one-off payment. Yeah, there we go. All sorted. Right. So yeah, come get signed up. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Find my link tree. In my link tree, I'll show you now. I'll show you that. I can't show you on Facebook or YouTube. I'll tell you why I can't show you on Facebook or YouTube, because I can't spin. Well, I might be able to. Let me show you very, very quickly. I can show you on TikTok. Let me get my link tree up on TikTok. And then I can show you. So anyone that's on TikTok that's like, what do you mean? Right. So if you click the link in my link tree, it brings in my Facebook page, YouTube page, on TikTok, it brings up this little badger here, right? This is my link tree, right? And you've got links and shop, right? So the first link is an inquiry form. Click on that, brings up an inquiry form, fill in your details, ping it over to me, and I can directly email you all the details, right? If you've been watching me for ages, or you just invested, like you've been meaning to take the plunge, you've got a week. So click on here. This is my shop. You've got my monthly plan, you've got my yearly plan, you've got my community. If you just want your calories working out, right, and you don't feel like you need any extra support, you will get extra support in the community, but directly from me. Click on the community. It's £5 for your first month. No contract, cancel any time. It's $9.99 after that. Click on that one. If you want proper coaching, finally it's time to nail my journey. Monthly one-to-one plan. Click on that. It just takes to my website. Summer deal. You can now get half price sign up, saving you 15 quid. Use code SUMMER50 at checkout, right? And then get signed up to my one-to-one plan. If you, like I said before, my normal one-to-one plan is $324.99. Click on that, right? $324.99. Use code SUMMER20 at checkout, and you get it for $260. So add it to cart. Yeah, go to cart, right? Go to checkout, right? And it'll say input code, right? That's Betty barking like mad. SUMMER20, apply. There you go. 260 quid. One-off payment, and then you've got me for 12 months. And you'll be forced online at this time next year. If you follow my advice, right? I'm not a miracle worker. You still got to put the effort in, okay? So come get signed up, and there's absolutely no need. Now, the last thing I want to mention, sorry to you guys on Facebook, YouTube, you can just see my phone, me going through. But I've described it to you anyway, so you can go and have a look yourselves. I told you it's Betty barking. Is the Boss Your Weight Loss Challenge. I've not talked about this for ages. There's 20 of you guys signed up. If you want to take part in my challenge, I'd kind of like you to sign up, if possible, by the end of next week. You don't have to. You can sign up later than that. It might be a last minute thing. Oh, go on, I'm going to go and do it. But if you do want to do the challenge, why would I appreciate you signing up by next week? I'll tell you why. I'm going away a week on Friday. When I get back from holiday, then I'm going to get back from holiday. I'm back Wednesday, but I'm back to work Thursday. Thursday, Friday is just going to be like a catch-up day, and then check-ins on Friday. And then the week after is going to be like, that's challenge focused. And I'm going to get everyone's challenges sorted and sent over to him by the 12th. But if I know who's signed up by next week, I can start planning a little bit. I have started planning already for you guys that have signed up already. Like I say, you don't need to sign up by then. If someone messages me on the 12th, which I will get, I think I'll do the challenge, because they might struggle for a couple of weeks and they want a bit of extra motivation. I'll get you started. I would just appreciate a little bit of a heads up. So remember, guys, you can split the payment, 25 quid, even if you've not got the first £25 deposit. If you guys have been on plan with me for a couple of months or whatever, or even a couple of years, whatever, and you're like, yeah, I want to do it, but I've not got the first payment until the first to second, doesn't matter. Let me know. As long as I know you're doing it, I can start putting you in the WhatsApp groups. I can start getting your folder ready for the September 25 challenge, which I'm going to start doing a little bit this week and a little bit next week before I go away. I'm just going to prep and get a little bit ahead of myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, the challenge, is still time to sign up. If you've lost details for the challenge and you're like, oh yeah, no, I need to sign up now, I'll keep meaning to, drop me a WhatsApp and I'll ping them over to you, right? And I'll send you the details again with the links to sign up. But it's £25 deposit and then £25 balance. And again, if you want to pay your £25 deposit 1st September, your £25 balance 1st October, it's fine. If you've been with me a while, I trust you. I know you're not going to go anywhere, right? Well, hopefully not. So I know you're going to sort it out. He's just giving me a little bit of a heads up. So just let me know. Drop me a WhatsApp and we will get you sorted out. Anyway, there we go. That's it. All done and dusted for this morning. I am going. I'm going right now. I'll tell you why. I'm going straight over to Sainsbury's. I always say this, and the next thing it's 10 o'clock, and this, that, and the other, but I need to be back here. I need to go to Sainsbury's. I need to go to the gym. I wouldn't mind going and getting my hair cut if I've got time as well. And I want to be back here for 12 o'clock. So I'm going to do a shopping vlog. We're going to go to the gym and train. And then back at it. I'm back at 8 p.m. tonight. So if you are interested in coming on my plan and you're like, oh, I don't know whether I should just send over an inquiry form. I'll send you all the bits. You can ask me any questions and then make an informed decision on whether I'm the right coach for you. Hopefully I will be. But come get involved. I actually had someone sign up yesterday and they were like, I'm going on holiday this week and I'm back end of next week. But I want to start on plan like in a couple of weeks. But I want to sign up now to take it. Fine. Right? If you're like, well, I don't want to start until mid-September, Neil, right? You can still sign up now and take advantage of the summer deals, and then we can just put your start date into September. So that client's going to start on the 1st of September, even though they signed up yesterday. It's only a couple of weeks. So that's absolutely fine as well. All right? Just get signed up. Come on board. Right, you lovely people. That is me until 8 p.m. tonight. I'll be back at 8 p.m. tonight. So if you are free, I will see you then. TikTok, have a lovely day. Hopefully I'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight. If you are on plan with me, right, one-to-one, if you need me, please drop me a WhatsApp. I'll try and get back to you this afternoon at the latest. If you're not on plan with me, come get on plan with me. If you're in the community, remember we've got the weight loss Q&A group in WhatsApp. You can ask me any questions in there. TikTok, have a great day. I'll see you in like 10, 11 hours, something like that. And same to you, Facebook, YouTube. I will be back 10, 11 hours, something like that, 8 p.m. tonight. Come get signed up. Find my Linktree links. Email me, info@thereallostboss.com. All the links are in my Linktree anyway. Just get in touch and we'll get you going.